Hey guys, welcome back. First of all, let me start off by saying thank you to all the new subscribers that we've gotten over the last couple of months, and thanks to all the old subscribers that have stuck around. We're getting close to that 1,000 mark that I had set almost a year ago now, and I just wanted to thank everybody for coming back and watching the videos and throwing out comments and likes. I appreciate it. It's helpful. Also, to all of you that have that send me pictures of the carvings, I've mentioned before that I really do enjoy seeing those, and I hope that you'll continue to send those over the next however long that we decide to go through with this, but hopefully it's years. So anyway, thanks. Keep sending those. This one today, I had done a little stargazer that I put out. I just put it on Instagram, and I called him the stargazer because he's looking up at the stars. But I liked him. Decided to go through and try to do another one and make a video. So it's a whole lot different than what that little guy is. But I think you'll like it. I think you'll enjoy it. So stick around and we'll get started. Okay guys, we've got a 1.5 by 1.5 by 4 1/4 piece of basswood today. Let's start off on the head. Let's come down about an inch and a half on the front, and then we're going to taper back to about 1.25 inches on the back. So this is going to be the face. We'll make a straight line, and we'll make that tapered line 1.25 inches. And then we're going to taper again towards the back. Now on let's go on and make the feet. Put the feet in there at about 1/2 inch. Make that line about halfway over, so halfway point. Let's go on and draw that in a little bit here. Halfway point on the front. And I'm gonna start out with my big old Amazon knife today. This knife is 2 1/4. 2 1/4 rough out. Just an old cheap knife that I got off Amazon about a year ago now, and it still stays good and sharp. We're just going to cut notches in at all the corners on your line, but it's just you don't need expensive knives when you're starting out, especially. I don't feel that you do. It's my opinion. Now let's connect Let's connect our notches on all 4 sides. There's a lot of expensive knives out there that you can buy. If you're getting started out like me, I don't think it's really necessary at this point. There may be a coming time when I change my mind completely, but for now, I think the cheap stuff is just as good to use. And my flex cuts, they're low end price wise, but I feel very comfortable using those. Don't feel like that I need anything more than that right now. Just working around the head. Getting the head set in place here. And I know I've said that about the knives many times, but it's true. You just don't need it right now if you're starting out. Let's go down now to the feet and put in a stop cut on that 1/2 inch line on each corner. Let's connect these feet. But this is just going to be another little guy that I've worked on a lot. I've done a lot of little old men, little old guys. And you just try to make it better. I mean, that's what I try to do, is just get better at it as you go. And if you're working on something similar, a similar character, then some of the things that you like, you keep. Some of the things that you want to improve on, and you work on those things just to try to make it better as you progress. And that's all I'm trying to do, is get a little better at what I'm doing. Okay, let's come around to the back. Let's go up, let's say 1.25 inches. 1.25 line. All the way across. Put us a V-cut in. And let's connect those. Now let's work this area. Let's cut it out from that V cut. You're about 1/8 to 3/16 deep. on both sides. Let's cut those out to bring those legs in on the back. I like that. Let's go and split these legs just a little bit on your line on the front. Alright, there we go. Okay, so on the head, we're going to try to make the head a little bit narrower than the rest of the body. So we'll come out probably 1/8 or so on the head. And on the back, we'll just work that off. Try to take some pretty good chunks out. That's pretty good. Pretty tough piece of wood. I was good and sharp when I started, so see the shine on the wood there. Tell you how sharp you were. Okay, now let's go around to the back. You've established your face. Need a little more off of here. Okay, you've established your face, a couple eyes. Now, see this, the back needs to come in. Let's take this off the back. Now let's set this head back in again on these corners. And cut that neckline in again, all the way around. Deepen it in. If you all follow me on Instagram as well, I've got a couple of new carvings that you can see here in front of me that I put on Instagram. You can see those if you'd like. That are not on YouTube, not the carving anyway. All right, so now let's take these corners off. And up on the head. All right. Let's go on and get this front side too, this front corners. And kind of even them out on both sides. Let's go back up and take some of these corners off again. Under his neck. And a little bit of those legs. Okay. You see those eyes? So there's what starting out looks like. It's almost time to empty the gold chip bucket. Okay guys, so it's already about 100 degrees out here in my garage, so I turned my fan on real light. I hope it's not interfering too much. So I've watched Refsol's, not videos, but I've seen a lot of his. I've been looking at his arms that he does, and a lot of times he'll leave his hands in pockets way out here on the side. So that's what we're going to attempt today. Now we're going to stay within about 1/8 of an inch or so of this corner back here. So we're going to come down and bring it to that pocket area. I'm going to do the same thing there. And you can see how it's kind of in the middle, front to back. If you drew a midline, it would be pretty much right in the middle of this arm. So you can go halfway out, halfway out. That's about what we want. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is this line here. We're going to take this corner out over to that outside part of that line, that arm line. Take all that out. And take the forearm out of there. And let's go deeper here on the back side of his arm. Take that back out. Let's go a little deeper here. Better to go deeper first and not have to cut twice, so you don't end up with those extra cuts on the inside there. You see that? If I'd just cut once deep enough, I wouldn't end up with this. Alright, let's go to the inside. Go a little deeper this time. Let's cut that out, good, nice and deep. Alright, so on this corner, front and back, we're just going to take about halfway up, we're going to take all that off. We'll do the same thing in the back. On both sides. Now let's cut this neck back in some. You can see the back and the chest area. Let's go on and start tapering that down. Take some of this chest off. Just go back to the front and look where you are, side to side, compare the two sides, even them out. Take some more chest out. I'm kind of swooping up because I want to leave a little bit of belly. You may choose not to. Alright, let's go up here on the head and let's take these edges off of this head. Probably not going to have a hat or anything this time, just to give him some hair. I don't think I do enough carvings with just hair. All right. Now let's come down to these backs of these legs, these sides, and let's take these corners off. And let's take this angle out of this foot here too. We're gonna, his pant legs will come down to the side like a lot of my carvings do. So in order to start that pant leg, I'm just going to cut into this corner and bring it down. Like so. Y'all are probably thinking, why didn't he get his other knife out? Took me a minute. Take the corners of these feet off. Alright, let's go up about a ½ inch and give him some, put a pant leg line in there. Alrighty. Alright, let's take this corner here out on both sides. I'm going to cut into where the butt area is. Yeah, I know that butt's sticking way out there right now, but we're going to get rid of a lot of it after a while. Alright, let's start underneath his pocket area, taking off some more. We kind of want to leave a little bulging hand there if we can, inside the pocket. So we'll work towards this line down here. Make his pocket area stay there, and we'll tidy him up after a while. Alright, let's go up here and take some more of this upper back out first. And it's okay if you go into his arm. It's alright. So let's take quite a bit of this butt out too. I like to start a little above the butt and just kind of swoop up as you leave a pronounced behind area back there a little bit. Just a little bit. Those legs are still pretty thick. You can take some of that off. Put your little V-cut in there. That's probably the best way to do it. It gives your backs of your legs a little bit of, like a knee being bent. Cut your little triangle out here underneath your butt. Okay guys, so I've drawn him in a little collar there, just for it's just a little pullover shirt. You call it a sweater, call it whatever you want. I've got a line here in the back for the back of it, his shirt. And here's way down, coming from the corner of his hands, both corners of his hands. And the meat in the middle. I just didn't want him to have a plain t-shirt like I put on most of them, so I've drawn him in just a little collar, and so we'll put a little V-cut in up there on his collar. Alright, so let's go from corner to corner here from the hands. and give it the look that it's hanging over, so we'll go underneath and cut in. We don't want that sharp corner, so we'll take that off. We want a sharp edge there. Kind of rounded look. And we'll come around here to the back, and it'll be about halfway down on his butt. Doesn't have to be straight. Crooked little line, probably give it a little nicer look. And come from the bottom up. Go round that off. Round those edges off on his butt. All right. A little rumble of thunder. I hope it does rain a bit. We need a little bit. Okay guys, so I did go around and take off all the edges on the arms. Smooth those down a little bit. So what we're going to do now is, in order to get the head in the shape that we want so that I can put the nose in, I want it about that width, or about 3/16. I've got an 1/8 there, but I'm going to leave it a little wider than that. So what we're going to do is take off these corners, the front two corners, and bring them over to here so I can cut in the nose at a smaller dimension. Because if I tried to put the nose in now, it's going to go all the way across his face because it's still flat out here. So we're gonna cut these corners off over to that nose, both sides, and then we're going to cut that nose in. Something like that. Try to center your width there on your body. Alright, so now I'm going to cut this nose in. The head right now is like one and a half, because I haven't taken any off that top yet. We're going to come down about the 1 inch line, which is at the bottom of that little line right there. And we're going to notch in that nose. Alright, so now let's come down about this angle, almost to the corner over here, but not quite. I still want to give him a pretty big nose. So I'm going to put a little V cut in right here at the top. Take this top away. So I'm also now trying to get this flat surface for the eyes here and here. Now I'm going to call this guy Stargazer as well. That's what I was talking earlier about my Instagram post with this little guy right here. And his eyes looking up, and his head was even tilted back a little bit. Leaned back, but I put two angles on the surface of his eyes, if you can see that, if you can see it or not. I thought I needed a flat spot up at the top so that it would look like he was looking upwards. But then I didn't like the way that the bottom part ended up in here. I didn't like those two different levels. So I'm going to make this level the same and still try to get the same gaze upwards as I've got on this guy. So we'll see what we come up with. All right, we're going to cut this nose out in between. On both sides. And angle these back up to that point where we were, just to meet that point on both sides. Okay, we're also going to extend. Let's see. Let's take a little bit more off of this chin first. We want that nose to stick out a little bit. Let's take some more off of this side, off of these sides. So we're going to come back and round this head off some more too in a minute. Let's extend this nose down. Or draw this in. Make sure we get the same angle. Sometimes I'll do that. I'll get in a rush and I'll go ahead and think that I can match something from one side to the other, and I end up messing up the second side, and then I have to go back and fix the first side. So we're going to go inside and outside. Cut from the outside and the inside, what I meant. We've already cut from the inside over here. Now let's cut from the outside a little bit, just to kind of smooth out those face lines. All right, so we're going to give him a big smile. I'm going to go side to side. And we're going to put that knife right straight down into the mouth, all the way around. Go through it a couple of times. What I did on this little guy was I cut it in, and then I took out from the bottom, and then I scooped out underneath, giving him a bottom lip look. Scooped out underneath. So I'm going to try to do that again. So first we're just going to take a little bit from underneath. Then we're going to dig out. Swoop down. I didn't quite leave as much as I wanted to for that chin on this guy, but that's okay. Just swoop down all the way. I know he looks very square at the moment, but we'll work on that here in a minute. Alright, let's draw some eyes in here. I'm going to do them cartoon eyes just like those. Not quite as big, not nearly as big as that side, because I want to still get him some hair in here. So we're going to start about right here and come down toward. I don't like those at all. Alright, let's draw a little straight line down in the center. And make it a little golden arch. I think I could do this easier with a knife. Okay, so I'm going to cut in on the arches. Good idea to go back through it a couple of times so you can get deep enough. If those cartoon eyes aren't deep enough, then what you take out is going to be very messy. It can be. Alright, so let's scoop that inside out. Something like that. All right. Just round this nose off a little bit on these corners. He's very blockety right now. Let's take this little corner out right here too. Right next to his nose. Alright, let's go back on the back of his head here, and on this back corner, let's take these back corners off because he looks like he's got a football helmet on. Okay, so let's draw him some hair in here. Let's give him a whole bunch of hair. We're going to come across the top, way down here. See if we can't make both sides look the same. And then we're going to angle down. We're just going to let the bottom here be the bottom of his hair. Alright, so let's go and draw this in just so I don't mess it up. So I'm going to start out just putting a V cut or two down here, matching those up. And cut a triangle between his face and his hair. That'll give a good look of separation. Something like that. You cut some of that blockness off there. Very careful right here. And we're going to take that top back again. Just a second. We chunked him there. I might change our look just a little bit. Not really. Just the hair's still too big anyway. Take that sharp edge off so it doesn't look like there's a big difference there. All right. Take these little edges off here. Okay, let's take some of these jowls down. I don't want him looking like the lunch lady. but I do want him kind of thick. All right, folks. Now I'm gonna cut some hair in, put some V-cuts in his hair, and we're gonna round these shoes off a little bit. I'll probably just either fast forward or we'll I'll just cut to the end on the hair. You can put hair in it, you don't have to put hair in. Anything you want to do. Alright guys, there he is, all finished up, all painted. He could be a lot of different things. If you wouldn't mind to throw me a comment down below and let me know what you think he looks like. Or she. Could be either way actually. But we started off, I know I talked about a stargazer in the beginning. Tried to make his eyes look like they're looking up, but I don't think we actually got exactly a stargazer out of this guy. So I hope you enjoyed it. Hope the video wasn't too awful long. Thanks for watching. I appreciate all the likes and subscribes. Awful close to that 1,000 mark, so help me get there, folks. See you on the next one. Thanks for watching.